this record, Life is a Problem, again, we went fiercely independent, and what I mean by that is we didn't take anybody's money to make music, which, if you're in a independent underground rock and roll band, you will know is a really difficult, often impossible thing to do, because you need that shot in the arm, you know,
just to make the record.
To book studios, to do things like that. And in the past, that's all we'd ever done. It's like, here's your $15,000 now. It's spent before we even get it, you know. But you fly the band in, you book the studio for 6 days.
The coffee and cigarette bill alone, that eats the budget right up.
So basically, we got to a point as a band that we couldn't really afford to make another independent record for even a great independent label in America, because that is the way things are happening now. The decision to make vinyl, and to make nice vinyl, and to do cassettes revolves solely around Walmart doesn't sell Marah records. And if you're not in a Starbucks or a Walmart or that's it, you know, that's kind of the monopoly. If you're not doing that, or maybe Cracker Barrel if you're Dolly Parton.
Good for her, actually.
There's really no link between us and you. But
so we tried to make something
even
special,
more beautiful is
there's no people could buy.
There's no need for a link anymore. We can literally reach right to the people that love what you do or whatever, and that's a pretty awesome thing. And there is a bit of sour grapes involved, and people like, I want a CD. You know, I want a CD because my car plays CDs. And I know that kind of sucks, but it doesn't suck as bad as like dropping a drive shaft in North Georgia or having a tire blowout last night in Asheville. I mean, we all make sacrifices for our art, you know what I mean, Christine?
I know, but you know what, actually it was really hard for us to deal with not doing CDs, because I felt like once the idea came up, like just vinyl with a digital download card, well, I thought that was insane.
Oh, it spooked me big time, you know, because
we were fighting against it for a long time, and we know, you know, the fans, and we thought there's going to be an uprising, like people are not going to, you know, I can't let go of that. But that's why we came out with a cassette, because I feel that anybody that's actually listening to CDs probably has a cassette player around, and the fact that this has
or can go to a flea market and buy one for $2, you know,
or might have a cassette player in the car.
And then at least you have
this is $10, this is $20, you know, so this is like more for the collector and everything, you know. This, I thought, put it in the right budget and frame of mind for the people that are, what do you mean no CDs, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, Valley Farm song, another interesting song. I think after a while of playing in a band, you start to look and you risk something when you start to look for the unusual or the not so, I've done this before, or done anything like this before. And I think Valley Farm song was kind of the song that got this whole album kind of moving in a positive direction.
Yeah.
Because it just felt different enough, and it just felt folky enough and rock and roll enough and strange enough that I was initially just captivated by that melody and like couldn't place it. It almost seemed like Wild West, big scope, big some sort of mantra or something.
It's got a very kind of Celtic melody.
And then it had a lot of that, and then we started
some traditional rock stuff, but it's got bagpipes and banjos.
Bought a cheap
and
fiddle,
stuff.
you know, and no one could play a fiddle better than someone who doesn't know how to play a fiddle. And those elements started to make
Guilty.
it. Yeah.
It's raining down here. To blindness,
track 3 on this record is called Within the Spirit Sagging, and we recorded that in Nashville at a really beautiful studio called 16 Time, and it sort of was the link, I think, that pulled the rock and roll into like a lot of the other influences that have always been at play in our music on some level. Like, for instance, I'm really fascinated and huge like country blues fan, you know. I don't try to go there very much, you know, because it's almost like I don't feel that it would be doing myself a favor, but it is what I'm a fan of and stuff. And this, Within the Spirit Sagging, to me feels like a true traditional American song. And we haven't done nearly enough of that.
It's probably one of the most accessible songs on the record, so to speak, but in the way he was talking about Valley Farm song before, that was like the first band song, full band treatment of the recording, and this is more like this little tempo ballad type thing. Those two songs to me
and the other
were
thing
probably the earliest on that, like, okay, this is our starting point, and we're building.
Some people find the places, the dark side of the road. Know to walk in twilight and balance in between them. Within the spirit sagging.